Now, if we're honest with ourselves, let's be honest with ourselves, we wouldn't consider Saul to be a man worthy of salvation. Like, if we really think about it and put ourselves in the path of his persecution, knowing who he was and what he did, we wouldn't consider him a candidate for salvation. That's like God calling Hitler out of his sin into his life, the man who has murdered millions of Jews. That's like God calling Dylan Roof, the young man who walked into the church of Charleston and in cold blood murdered 9 African Americans, to which he said, "I don't regret what I did, I'm not sorry for it." That's like God calling him out of his sin and into his life. You see, these are individuals who we deem not worthy of salvation. But thanks be to God that he's God and that we're not, amen? That salvation is not on the basis of our merit, but is on his mercy. Because if it were on us, none of us would be worthy of salvation. Thank God that it has nothing to do with our capability. It has everything to do with his calling through the blood of his son Jesus. That is the calling of the gospel. The gospel is not a job application that requires certain prerequisites. It's not looking for the strongest or the smartest or the prettiest or the most popular. It's not looking for the person who hasn't been in jail or who hasn't done drugs or who hasn't had an abortion. The gospel is for the one who says, "God, be merciful to me, a sinner." The calling of the gospel, the promise of salvation, is for everyone who confesses with their mouth that Jesus is Lord and believes in their heart that God rose him from the grave. That's who the gospel is for. That's who salvation is for. From the pampered to the pauper, from the princess to the prostitute, from the rich to the ratchet, from the broker to the broken, from the successful to the scarred, from the beautiful to the bullied, from the superb to the suicidal, from the glamorous to the ghettos, from the hills to the hoods. God is calling, and if he's calling you, that means he wants you. So if you hear him calling, respond. Amen?